Hey there, Aggies. UC Davis leads the world in veterinary sciences, agriculture, medicine, and so many other fields. Research universities like ours are largely funded by federal grants. But today, this funding is under threat. Without it, we'll lose life-saving treatments and next-generation innovations. Today, I'm going to meet the researchers behind a brain-computer interface that turns brain signals into speech. This breakthrough has the potential to make a massive difference for people who've lost the ability to speak. Let's go. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Sergei Stavitsky, an assistant professor in the Department of Neurological Surgery, teamed up with UC Davis neurosurgeon David Bramman to create brain-computer interface technology, also known as BCI. The researchers enrolled Casey Harrell, a 45-year-old man with ALS, who had weakness in his limbs and whose speech was very hard to understand. Within minutes of the device's activation, Harrell was able to communicate with his family using his own voice. I watched the video. It was impressive, but just incredibly moving. Tell me what it was like to be in the room at that moment.
It was a highlight of my career. I mean, at this point we have a man who's paralyzed that wants to talk but can't. And using the brain-gate neural interface, he simply tried to speak and words appeared on the screen.
I can see why the tears came, Talk more about the technology. So how does this actually work?
So the way this works is, fortunately, even if someone has a neurodegenerative disease like ALS or a stroke, when they're trying to speak, although in this case, the brain is not properly connecting to the muscles, they have paralysis, the brain is still doing what it would normally try to do. So all of those millions of neurons involved in producing speech, they're still firing away, they're still talking to one another, and we're basically bypassing the injury. We're going upstream of the paralysis, recording information from a couple hundred neurons in the brain, and then using artificial intelligence algorithms to map the patterns of brain activity we observe to what the person's trying to say.
So people living with spinal cord injuries, brainstem strokes, or ALS undergo surgical implantations of microelectrode arrays into their brain, and then work with scientific teams to develop next-generation neurotechnologies. And what our brain-computer interface has allowed Casey to do is speak for himself. What I mean by that is Casey's the ultimate power user. He has used the system for thousands of hours, has said millions of words, and in fact, we've actually used artificial intelligence to mimic the sound of his voice, so that when he tries to speak, it sounds like him. It's truly spectacular what he's been able to do.
That is really awesome. It's my belief that we couldn't do these wonderful things without the support of the federal government. What's your thinking there?
The history of brain-computer interfaces is actually a really good example of how federally directed research funds can go from proof of principles in animals to early clinical trials to multiple startups developing fully implanted medical devices that creates jobs for Americans.
So we've told you about how this works, but actually if you want to go into the lab, we can show you a full simulator where you can pretend to be that brain and talk into a microphone and see the speech neuroprosthesis at work.
I'd love to do that. Sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay, follow me.
So this is it, huh?
This is it. What we've basically built is a simulator. So you will speak into the mic. It applies some simple toy encoding model.
Bring it closer.
Bring it closer.
Please tell my family I need my glasses. So I'm using my eyes to move the cursor on the screen. Pretty cool. Well, thanks for showing me around and telling me about the work. It's really been an outstanding, fascinating day for me. But I do want to end with you telling the audience a little bit about the future of where this work is going and what the potential is.
And as a surgeon, I'm excited. I think we're about 5 years away from me being able to prescribe one of these devices to help someone restore naturalistic, independent communication. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Our goal is to keep pushing the frontier. So to date, we've shown that we can decode the words that someone's trying to say really accurately. What we're working on now is making it fully expressive, so they can sing, they can change their intonation, they can convey the full richness of the human experience through our voice. And that has never been done yet. We've done a lot towards that, but there's still more to go.
This is going to be a game changer. I can't believe it's only 5 years away. And the fact that we're doing this work here at UC Davis just really makes me feel so proud.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You can't help but feel inspired by what our UC Davis researchers showed us today. That's why federal funding is so crucial to make research like this possible. To learn more about what's at stake, go to ucdavis.edu/labs to lives. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out, because you never know, that may be the Chancellor.